Everything wrong with Sonic Origins in 37.5 minutes. After this, I got the 8-bit games, and then I think I'm good. Unless anyone wants to correct me.
Look, I'm not usually the kind of guy that's harsh on pre-order bonuses. I think it's cool that companies reward players that choose to put their faith in the company's product with something worth the player's time and money, such as exclusive features or cosmetics, so long as they don't make playing the game disadvantageous for those who are incapable or unwilling to fork over the extra cash.
Yeah.
But this is one that I just... What the f*** is this? For starters, you
I
have
don't know.
2 columns that are basically the same thing, except one is DLC for the other, which comes included with the pre-order anyway, so again...
I did not
get
get this game, for the
Unless you have
record.
to pay for this separately if you didn't pre-order the game, which is absolutely...
I have the Sonic
dog shit
Classic
Sega.
Collection on
The only thing going
DS.
for the
I'm
premium
good.
Fun pack is the addition of the hard missions and mission mode, which I don't understand why you wouldn't just keep in the base game anyway. It's not like there are that many of them in the first place. And then the rest of the perks are things that have nothing to do with the actual game. Character animation in the main menu, camera controls over the main menu islands,
What?
character animations during music islands. Who gives a shit about any of this?
At least give me a Sonic plushie.
Why is this something locked behind a pre-order pack? Who's going to spend that much time on these menus compared to, you know, playing the game? And the letterbox background? Are you telling me that if I hadn't pre-ordered the game that I wouldn't get the fucking PNG that you already made during the classic mode of the games? The classic
Nice.
music pack is the stupidest one of the bunch. Additional music tracks from Genesis titles, which include Sonic Spinball, 3D Blast, and Knuckles as Chaotix, which you can listen to for free here on
Yeah, I
YouTube.
don't get
And
why
don't care
game
much if you
developers
listen
keep
to these
putting
songs
this
during gameplay.
in
I think that'd be
games.
sick, but
Yeah,
unfortunately,
no,
it
if you
doesn't
can
work
choose
that
it
way.
between
If you wanna
gameplay,
listen to these
that's
songs in
fine.
game,
Totally
you can't
okay
do
with
anything
that.
but play the music.
But we're just
In
gonna
fact,
play
not only
it
could you
during the
listen to this
game,
music for free on
YouTube.
But if you muted the music in game, you could load it up while you're playing and get a better experience than what the pre-order offers.
Seriously. Look, if you want to put music in your games as a feature, let me play it whenever I want during the
Just
background. That's
exploded
fine.
within a bag.
That's okay.
How is it okay? So, exactly what purpose does kidnapping Sonic's animal friends serve? Because a lot of them are roboticized, but then others are just kept in the egg prison. But why? Why not just roboticize them too?
Shut
Also,
up.
how come these animals are just animals, but Sonic, Amy, Tails, and Knuckles are anthropomorphic?
Yes.
Hold on. Sonic didn't have this ability back then.
Yeah.
Wait, you didn't have that one either. You can't just rewrite history like this.
Here's we can.
So, assuming this is your first time playing this game, even if you know how to get the giant ring at the end of the stage, it sucks the control is taken from you after you pass the goalpost because it can be staring you dead in the eye. But
Yeah,
because you're
you
going
got
too
those
fast,
time limits.
You can't turn back to get to the special stage. That is the slowest moving lava I have ever
right.
seen. Also, was it just waiting for me? It's okay, take your time. Hold on, does that say cope?
Yep.
Listen, I know I'm not the best Sonic the Hedgehog player in the world, but you don't have to be mean about it. Oh my god, f***ing spinners! How is anyone supposed to see that coming?
Open your eyes.
Okay, so I ran into this Sonic 1 exclusive glitch where if I keep jumping after destroying the egg prison, I keep jumping off screen even after control is taken away from me. Ugh,
So?
labyrinth zone.
Yeah. Oh, come on. Of course, it's not gonna spawn. Why would it? Son of a mother!
So what you witnessed just now was the first time I died on this run, and it was all because of an air bubble that you can't inhale. That patch is placed in such a way that by the time the air bubble is fully formed, you're out of luck because it'll be behind a ceiling that you can't pass.
God damn it.
This is so unforgiving. If you get hit at the very end of this climb,
Yeah.
right at the top,
Fuck
you can fall
Labyrinth
right
Zone.
back to the bottom with no way to grab any of the rings you just dropped. Not that that matters, considering that the climb back is so slow, you'll most likely run out of air before getting to the top anyway. Did I just get to the top without water touching me until the spear hit me at the end?
Yep.
And I won? How is that a boss?
It's an obstacle
You
course.
know, Eggman, you could have planted a bed of spikes down here and Sonic would be dead.
Yeah.
No one would be able to stop you. Instead, what do? You give us
Labyrinth Zone Act 4.
You monster.
Like, that's worse than spite. I wanted to give him a fate worse than death.
Wow, the flowers are big. So glad I collected all 6 Chaos Emeralds.
Totally worth it.
Sound produce. I don't know if vegetables make sound.
Ah, that's where they made VeggieTales.
Wait, where'd that emerald come from?
Now, as much as
So
the,
that
we
map in
hate
the
the
back, does that
games,
just
it's like we
naturally
can
look
dunk
like
on
Eggman?
Origins as a
As far as
game
I
if
know,
what
it
you
doesn't really have
want.
anything to
I
do with the
legit
plot,
love
it's just
these
sort of
animations.
There.
Probably the best part of the game.
How did those cards get blown away, but not the rest of the deck?
Yes.
Don't get me wrong, I love this intro, love me some hand-drawn, cel-shaded animation, and this is probably the cleanest version of these animations we have, but isn't it kind of out of place with the rest of the cutscenes?
Yeah, it might have been
You
cleaned
had
up
the
a little
original
bit.
material, why not recreate these animations with the new 16:9 style? While it's great that
You
they
can still
do
keep the
offer a
cutscene
way
in
to
the game,
switch
like, as an extra or
update
something,
US
but, I don't know.
soundtracks, why isn't it more convenient to do in story mode? I had to go back to the menu, go into Sonic CD's anniversary mode, and change it from within that mode's main menu. Couldn't you have...
But
I
the
don't know,
US
made
track
that
is the
option
best
on the pause
one.
screen? So I don't know if this is a glitch in the original too, or if it's an Origins exclusive, but I got
At least
a shield
I
and
prefer
then
Sonic
invincibility
Boom
and
to
accidentally
Toot Toot
went to
Sonic
the future,
Warrior.
But when I got there, I didn't have a shield anymore.
What?
And I'm
What,
guessing
the
that's
shield
because I time
age?
traveled while I had invincibility active, which hides my shield graphic. EGG HBC001 is still one of the worst bosses in Sonic history.
It says a
Why do
specific
Eggman
name.
and Metal Sonic kidnap Amy? She wasn't really doing anything, and as far as I know, she isn't really useful to them. I don't think Sonic even really knows her at this point. She was just kind of following us around. So, aside from the fact that I think these special stages kind of suck in general, one of the things you can do to help you navigate the pseudo 3D is follow the UFO shadows on the ground, but what makes this one particularly rough is that the water is black, meaning that half the time, you can't even see the shadows.
And
Also,
touching
quick
the
side note, anyone
water
who's
in
been
the
watching my
ground
playing
speeds
every
up the
Sonic game
timer.
until Frontiers comes out streams will know that I'm absolute trash at the Sonic CD special stages, but I'm batting 5 for 5 on getting the time stones on the first try, so suffice to say, I got a lot better with all that practice. Remember, everyone, if at first you suck ass, try again. Maybe you'll still suck ass, but it'll be less than before.
Probably.
You know, I'd call Tidal Tempest Discount Labyrinth Zone, but it's a Labyrinth Zone I actually like. This one still goes out to all my homies who don't like water levels, though.
Yeah.
My eyes!
Seizure procedure. Get over here, little.
How? How is he so fast? Why does your machine work this way? You designed
It's
your
the
machine
original
in such a
boss
way that
idea.
it gets sanded down over time? Even though I can't reach you? This is 100% your own fault. Ah, yes. Stardust Speedway Zone. The level where they just said, F it, right? Like, they'll figure it out.
Okay, who puts springs in the middle of a damn forest?
I can't believe
Love
that
that
Eggman
line.
developed an insta-death laser, something that will kill me, even if I have rings, and this is the only time he ever uses
Yeah,
it.
right.
Was that... I got the power by Snap? That doesn't seem right.
Nope.
That object's mass needs way more acceleration to push Sonic with as much force as it did. I didn't know I was gonna find your name here, and I'm sorry I keep bringing this up, Marta, but Gonzalez has an accent on it. If the emphatic syllable is the penultimate one in the word or name, and the word doesn't end in N, S, or a vowel, the prosodic vowel
I was gonna
has
say
an
maybe there weren't
accent.
accents
Remember
in there at the
Sebastian
time, but
Perez
look, they
Aguero?
got Tristan
He's in his
Carey.
credits too, and he has 2 accents in
Breeze,
his
yeah.
name. So
See?
it's not like they couldn't print the accents. Ah, yes, Sonic's biplane, the Tornado. The one he's always had. From the very beginning.
I mean, it
He
was
has
originally his
always had this
plane.
Remember how we used the plane that one time before this? Good times.
She cannot get a break.
Is Amy happy that Sonic's leaving? Why is she
Yay,
smiling?
he's gone! Now on to Sonic 2. Too bad you can't fly in this game.
Cute origin story and everything, but
Yeah.
how did he never realize he could do this before? Has he never run before?
Maybe.
Also, I had to wait for the proper time to ask this question, and with their origins being animated for the first time, now's as good a time as any. How do Miles Prower's tails work? Like, how do they helicopter around like that? Wouldn't they get tangled up with each other? These special
They just
stages
do.
are so damn hard casually. For the longest time, I wouldn't even try and do them because of how much effort you need to put in to even try them. Origins makes them a lot easier with the increased draw distance, the fact that you don't lose your rings after a special stage, and the fact that you can retry them as many times as you want, provided that you have the coins to do so. But
That's
nothing
nice.
can change the fact that in the story mode of this game, you need to do these with Tails, which increases the ring requirement and can lead you to depend on Tails to get the rings you miss, which sounds nice until you realize that Tails is on a slight delay compared to your own movement and can get hit really easily, causing you to fail the special stages, which happened a lot in the original. Having said
Yeah.
that, and I understand that it's the first stage, so naturally they're going to give you as many checkpoints as need be for people new to the series, it's a little ridiculous that you can get all the Chaos Emeralds in the very first zone of this part of the game.
It is, but that's part of the fun.
Did the music not stop? Okay. So Tails started doing this weird thing in Casino Night Zone where his AI would get stuck trying to follow me, causing him to jump over and over, which wouldn't allow his AI to reset to my position. And I think that as a result of his constant jumping, the sound engine got kind of broken and didn't mute the stage music when the 1-up jingle played like
Meh,
it's supposed
I barely
to, so
care.
all the sounds played at the exact same time. Okay, hear me out. What if we take Emerald Hill,
But make it green.
but make the orange parts blue? Bam! New level.
Got it.
Okay, who put springs in the middle of the damn forest?
Oh no!
Still love that
that's-
line.
Uh-huh. Where are the spikes?
Yeah, they are this.
Uh-oh.
It's cool.
Does that mean that Angel Island fell and
Yeah, right?
lost pieces of the Master Emerald? What goofy shit is this? Why does playing a trombone summon the floating mines from Super Mario World?
Well, it's different. It's new.
So yeah, apparently that's not what you're supposed to do. I accidentally did that on my first playthrough of this game and thought that that was an alternate way of hitting Eggman. It's really easy too, all you do is jump while the water rises.
Huh. Isn't that what you do in another boss fight, though?
What? Excuse me? Ah, okay, we're fine. Wait, shouldn't the explosion cause everything to burst into
Should,
flames?
won't.
It's a sea made out of petroleum. An oil ocean, if you will. Metropolis Zone just sucks. You got your Acerons, your shell crackers, your slicers, and nothing lets up. Ever.
Nope.
Huh. No boss? That's strange.
Yeah.
Act 3? Hold up. So not only did you make the worst stage in Sonic 2, you want me to play more of it?
Yeah, that was a
It's
cut
Labyrinth Zone
stage.
all over again. That is the most useless desperation attack I've ever seen. Like, I'm below you, Robotnik.
Fire!
I think we're saving the animals inside of Eggman's badniks from their metallic prison, but we're thousands
They
of feet
can't
in the
fly.
air. Releasing them, aren't
Well,
we
chickens,
sending them to
maybe.
their deaths?
Can chickens fly? Eh.
Well, don't look at me like that, you blue asshole. There's
But then
nothing
again,
to
Sonic
do
can
right
survive
now.
and fall from any
So
height,
I
so
hear
who's
all
to say
time
the
people
animals
say,
can't?
Oh, that's such a good attention to detail. Eggman shot the tornado down, so Tails added a rocket to make it capable of flight again. But what you fail to realize is that a rocket would propel a tornado with such force that its propellers would get destroyed from spinning so fast, meaning that the tornado probably wouldn't be able to fly at all.
Oops.
Also, Sonic must be swole as f if he can hang onto a rocket
Yeah,
blasting
right.
through space. Not to mention, it's outer space. How can we breathe in space but not water?
Yes.
Even assuming that's possible in the first place, wouldn't we freeze
I
to
just assumed it
death
was in the
while
upper
eggs
atmosphere, so yeah,
How are
there
you
is
faster than
oxygen.
me?
It just
Not for
didn't.
nothing, and I don't mean to be an asshole about this. I know game development is hard and everything, but couldn't you have? I mean, this is supposed to be 1080p
Zoomed
at the
in on the
least,
text
right?
on the
Couldn't you
screen.
have upscaled that tiny screen a couple times instead of leaving it at the original resolution? Also, I just realized, what happened to the rocket that Tails put on the tornado?
That's a good
You could
question,
say that Tails
actually.
fixed it so he doesn't need it anymore, but there's a problem with that. The tornado has the rocket again in the very next scene. So, in
Oops.
the good ending of the Sonic 2 portion of the game, we see the death that crash land onto Angel Island Zone and Robotnik stomping the ground
It's
surrounded
set
by
up.
what look like bushes and who we can assume is Knuckles inside one of them, clearly referencing the North American Sonic 3 box art, which is undeniably cute.
It is.
Except for the fact that in the very next animated cutscene, you show that this is impossible because Eggman crashes right into the hidden palace, which, as far as I know, doesn't have any bushes anywhere.
Oops.
And you could say, well, maybe the 100% ending isn't canon, to which I would say, well, it has to be, considering that Eggman's depiction of Sonic and the whole crux of why Knuckles even believes Robotnik to begin with shows that Sonic has all 7 Chaos Emeralds, and he goes super at the beginning of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I have a few choice words to say about this because people were like, oh, Knuckles is using the power of the Master Emerald to knock the Chaos Emeralds out of Super Sonic. But no! There is no evidence that that is the case. If he was using the Master Emerald's power, wouldn't it be clear that he's supercharged in some way?
Yeah, like a
You
green
know,
glow
like
or
a super
something.
form?
Yeah, or
We
super
know from
form.
his fight with Megasonic Mark II that you can turn super with the Master Emerald's power alone, so he's most likely not using its power. Not to mention, none of the manuals say anything about how he does this, but you know what the Japanese manual says? And I quote, "That day, as he always seemed to, he was making his patrol around the altar on the island. Protecting
Okay.
the 7 Chaos Emeralds who sleep and control the power of the pillar is the mission he has been charged with."
Pillar.
What is the pillar, you may ask? The altar of the Emerald, which
Ah,
holds the Master
of course.
Emerald. Now, this may be a mistranslation, and I don't think that the Chaos Emeralds control the altar, but there's nothing that states at this point in time that Knuckles uses the power of the Master Emerald at all for anything. In fact, there is only one official source that states how Knuckles does this, and you guys are gonna fucking hate me for this, but guess what? I don't
Wiki?
make the rules. I just spend hours looking them up.
What?
Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 1
Oh
story
my
wiki
god.
states, and again I quote, Knuckles, tricked by Eggman into thinking that Sonic and Tails are the evildoers out to steal the Master Emerald, pulls a cheap shot and steals the Chaos Emeralds from Sonic.
A cheap shot. That's it.
That's it.
That's
No
all we
Master Emerald,
get.
No manipulating the Chaos Energy or whatever the hell.
He just gets a
punches
lucky
Super Sonic and
punch.
catches him off guard, which, if you'll recall, is what I originally suggested was beside the goddamn point. Because Super Sonic is supposed to be invincible to anything that isn't crushing him or a bottomless pit. But how, dear viewer, is Knuckles supposed to see him coming when he's under the fucking ground?
Power Skung's a bitch. We're fine.
How are we okay? Fire Breath just set the entirety of Angel Island Zone on fire. And
That's
suddenly
nice.
We're fine?
That,
You know, it's
that
weird.
boss
In
was
Sonic
named
1,
Fire Breath?
You reach a
That's
special
cool.
stage by collecting 50 rings and jumping into the giant ring at the end of an act.
Mhm.
Ditto for Sonic CD.
Mhm.
In Sonic 2, you have to collect 50 rings and jump into a ring that spawns when you hit a checkpoint, but when you do that in Sonic 3, it takes you to a bonus stage, not a special stage. Those are reached by giant rings again, except this time they're hidden throughout the levels and you don't need 50 rings anymore. Pick a gimmick! What are the rules, damn it?
There are no
Water means water, and
rules.
city means city, and Merriam-Webster defines a city as an inhabited place of greater size, population, or importance than a town or village. And unless you count the Badniks, does anyone really inhabit this place?
All it does was cause a
American
Hydrocity,
defines it as
Hydro
a
City
center of
debate.
Population, commerce, and culture, and yet, do you see anybody selling anything here or engaging in any sort of culture?
This is an
Do the
American.
denizens of this so-called city of water celebrate any holidays where they mayhap hang H2 ornaments from their Hydrocity? Ian Flynn, author of the acclaimed tome Sonic the Hedgehog Encyclopedia, states in his entry on the matter, Hydrocity, or clearly the way you chose not to spell it.
There's really a Hydrocity versus Hydro City debate
You
again.
stupid bastard! I hit you so many times, why don't you die? Also, why
Seriously.
can Tails fly infinitely here and nowhere else?
Gameplay story
Oh,
segregation.
ew! What happened to Michael Jackson's Jam? No, the other one.
Okay, who put springs in the middle of a damn forest?
All 3 games. Yeah, it is.
Huh?
Huh?
Okay, so originally I thought I was tripping balls and just didn't see that the spikes came out at the same time as I approached that part of the stage, but nope. You can clearly see that I just walk up to the spikes and I instantly get crushed.
What?
Not damaged, not stopped by the side of the spikes.
Crushed.
Sonic is just tall enough to get hit by the spikes, but just short enough to also get crushed by them. Okay,
Get a
they
shoot
even
on,
added
too.
looking up and down sprites to make it more obvious, but this one goes out to my homies who somehow still don't know how this works.
Really? Grow up. You know by now. Don't you're playing ignorance.
Nope, still have no idea what that boss does.
Nope.
Oh no! Where's Hard Times? No, the other one, by the Jetsons. No, the other ones.
Wrong
Sonic
Jetson.
Origins bring you, like, the third boss that surrounds itself by floating spheres.
Seriously, I'm sorry to notice this is a trend. Nope.
Yeah, so I
What?
accidentally discovered that I could do that on a stream and tried to see if I could recreate it for the fuck of it, and it really wasn't that hard.
Nice.
No! Where are my Bit Crush friends? Tell me to go, 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 go.
God,
So
this
in the
music is
individual
just
video,
so
I voiced the
lame in
community's
comparison.
upset that in the original Sonic 3 and Knuckles, they get rid of the big arm boss fight for Sonic and Tails as opposed to getting rid of the egg rocket, which just sort of does nothing. But I failed to mention the egg cannon, which is just as, if not worse than the egg rocket. Robotnik even has little turrets on the machine that he's in that he never uses. But sure, get rid of big arm. At least he's reinstated in Origins.
Good.
This is something that I didn't note in my original video, but considering that this is a rocket that's launching, wouldn't the exhaust absolutely decimate Knuckles?
Probably.
Like, dude must be burnt to a crisp by now. Okay,
Yeah,
trust
it's in
me,
lava,
far
which
be
is
it for me
fine.
to say that I think a boss should be harder, but the fact that I can just comfortably go to the side of the arena and not fall off just seems like
Didn't even
you're
know you
babying
could
me,
do that.
especially when you have no good explanation for it. We interrupt Sonic Origins to bring you Super Mario.
Yes.
Does it really matter that Knuckles is looking around? I mean, the button is out in the open and right in front of the door. I don't think it matters if someone sees you. Not to mention, there are 77 of these things out in the open. 34 from this room onwards. What's hiding one behind a door gonna do?
Make sure no one gets it. Let's go. Let's go.
So, something that was pointed out to me was that in this version of the game, when you use a yellow sphere to jump across the stage, Tails doesn't jump with you, meaning that a lot of the time he just goes through red spheres. And if he can just do that, why don't we just let Tails get the Chaos and Super Emeralds for us?
Seriously.
Oh, you can't grab the blue spheres either? Why are you even here then?
Yeah.
You know, for such a creative boss, you'd really think it'd learn to stop attacking itself just because I'm standing on top of it.
It's creative, it's not
Pretty sure it
smart.
could still crush me without committing to squishing me all the way.
Oh, this one's even dumber.
Yeah, Robotnik, it's probably not the best idea to shoot your Mega
So
Death
we're
Laser
hyper
inside
already.
your own airship. Could, you know, damage some stuff.
He's gonna have the for a loop forever.
Boring and rough and coarse, and it gets everywhere. You know, I don't typically bother playing the bonus games too often unless I feel the need to lose my super form to keep my rings, so I hadn't noticed that in the Gumball machine, they didn't change the 1-up graphic. Shouldn't that be a coin now since there isn't a life system anymore?
Huh. Didn't even notice there wasn't a live system.
Oh. Huh.
Well, you could fight
Well,
legitimately,
that
I
was a
think.
mini-boss, I guess. I sort of just stood there until it jumped into the quicksand on its own. Okay, so something really strange happened when I played this live. Normally, before going into Sandopolis Zone Act 2, Sonic walked into the temple and fades in, but on stream, he sort of just stood there in his idle animation. I was pushing buttons and nothing was happening, so I thought I had somehow soft-locked until he just went in. And at that point, I thought, oh, that's neat, they must have added that. I don't know why they would add something so random, but that's neat. And then when I played it again for this video, he didn't do that. He just sort of did what he's normally supposed to do. So, what the hell happened on stream?
Glitch, I guess. What?
What? Why? Oh
Right.
yes, my favorite Sonic 3 mini-boss, the Five Nights at Freddy's Endoskeleton. This is a weird one. Why do I respawn with a lightning shield sometimes? I grabbed a fire shield before I died, but I didn't even have a shield when I hit the checkpoint.
Huh.
Sonic has the strongest and yet somehow the weakest super form ever. He can literally destroy all enemies in his vicinity with the push of a button, but he gets defeated by a tumbling boulder. This is one of Robotnik's best mechs. It's impervious to intense heats, not even lava can melt it, and it can't even be damaged by hypersonic. The only thing that can somehow damage it are the spikes it tosses at you. And he never stops to think, huh, maybe I shouldn't shoot those spike balls, I think they're hurting me, or maybe
You're
I
right.
should make another invincible mech like that, maybe one with an insta-death laser.
Bring that back. Nice.
How did Knuckles manage to get up after that? He got bodied by Sonic, electrocuted by Robotnik, and then he fell like
Ooh, guy,
15
little
feet onto the
electrical-
ground
yeah.
head first.
Yeah,
He should
skeleton
probably
graphic.
be dead. Nope, you can't do this one again. You already did this one in Ice Cap.
Whoa.
Why did Tails not get teleported with me? He
Uh-huh.
was standing on it better than I was.
You're not playing as Tails. That's why. Oh,
come
fuck.
on. That sucks and you know it. That's why you put that checkpoint there, isn't it?
Apparently.
So, in Knuckles' version of this fight, you also have to fight Super Mecha Sonic, and how does that work? Like, how can a robot achieve a super form? To be fair,
Magic.
I don't know how anyone achieves a super form, but something about a robot doing it just doesn't seem possible. Did Eggman program that ability in? How? It's not like he knew the Master Emerald existed before coming here. When did he build Mecha Sonic Mark II? Why can't it just use the Master Emerald to transform? No one else has done that before. And while we're on the subject of super forms, what the hell is up with Super Tails? Not only does he need the Super Emeralds to transform at all, not just the Chaos Emeralds, why does he suddenly have 4 Flickies following
Flicky
him?
Army of
What, the
Death.
powers of a god aren't enough for him? This part isn't hard per se, it's just annoying to try and hit all 6 bumpers, especially because you have little control and the bumper's always moving. Makes it extra hard when there's only 1 or 2 left. Whatever, man. Speedrunners, the people who know this game inside and out, also say that this fight sucks without a super form, so I guess they must have a skill issue too.
Tuh.
Okay, who put springs in the middle of a damn forest?
Wait, so his fingers can
Yeah,
crush
get
me,
sick of
but
that.
I'm safe because I'm spinning?
Yes.
Why don't other bosses work like that? Like the Lava Reef mini-boss.
Yes.
Again, what is Hypersonic's power level? He can eat a bunch of the final weapon's rockets, which are the only thing that can damage the final weapon in phase 1, but he can't damage the final weapon directly in this phase? How the hell dare you? Showing us Amy using her Pico Pico hammer like she's playable in this game.
What,
And
the
it
Sonic
takes even more when you
Advance?
show her at the end when you play the Sonic Mania music. You could have done that, you know. If they could make Knuckles playable in Sonic 2 and you could make Tails playable in Sonic CD, even though neither of those options make sense given the story you're trying to establish, you could have made Amy playable somewhere. And speaking
Playable
of
in
Knuckles
Sonic
being
1.
playable, why isn't he playable in Sonic CD? Why was that where you drew the line? And speaking of Amy's hammer, that's not how you spell Pico Pico
Ooh,
hammer.
yeah, they
It's supposed to be
misspelled
Pico
it.
with a K, like the
They didn't
onomatopoeia
call
for
her
the sound
Princess
the Japanese
Sally.
toy makes, not with a C like the Sega Pico. And isn't it supposed to be capitalized since it's a proper noun?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm sorry, Europe. You got this ugly ass box art while we got this? God damn it. I'm
God
sorry again, Europe. It's not fair that you guys get this render. Gee, thanks guys for reminding us that the only way you can legally play this game is on the original 32X. This game has never been re-released or emulated in any capacity.
Why wasn't this in the
Physical
Origins
copy of this game
collection?
is- oh my fucking god!
No!
Only one tough dude can put an end to the demented scientist's fiendish scheme. It's Sonic, the real cool hedgehog with the spiked haircut and power sneakers that give him super speed.
What?
First of all, it's not really a haircut. Sonic doesn't have hair. He may have fur, but what's on his head are his quills.
Yeah.
And second, wait, so his sneakers are what
Is
give him
that why
super
there's a
speed?
cartoon episode where he
him.
loses
If you
shoes?
collect
in
a
it?
certain amount of
Wait, is that
rings,
why
you can
Sonic
go
Labyrinth
to the secret
exists?
zone where you'll ricochet off multicolored blocks in a 360-degree rotating maze. There are 6 secret zones. In each zone, your goal is to reach the Chaos Emerald. Use the supersonic spin attack to bounce off different types of blocks. The secret zone is really a trap.
No, it's not.
It's not, though, because the whole point of the secret zone is to get a Chaos Emerald. It's not a trap if we want to come here. Also, the manual implies that as a trap, you want to escape the secret zone.
Yeah, so you
and
think
that
you'd
one of
want
the
to go
ways
to the
do so
goal.
is to touch the goal, but goal is a misnomer because you don't want to hit it. You want to get the Chaos Emerald.
And then you can go to the
Also,
goal.
you say at the beginning of the manual that if you're lucky, you can warp to the secret zone, which completely undermines your whole, oh, it's actually a trap statement.
Yeah, right?
Why would
You're lucky
falling
if you
into
fall for a trap.
be lucky? Also, luck has nothing to do with it. You say right on this page that if you collect a certain number of rings, you can warp to the secret zone. And I don't get why you don't
God,
just
this is
disclose how
so
many you
dated.
need. It has nothing to do with luck. Also, there are
How
no
many
one-ups
alsos?
in the secret zone. Why would you get people's hopes up like that? That's
Yeah,
straight
right?
up misinformation.
Huh.
Okay, so I have a few things to say about the European manuals because fortunately, while I may not speak French, German, Italian, Dutch, or Finnish, I do speak Spanish, and for whatever reason, Spanish is the only language that decided it would be a good idea to translate the character's name
Oh,
from
boy.
Sonic the Hedgehog to Sonico el Puercoespín, which not only would you not do,
Porcupine.
given that Sonic is a proper noun, Puercoespín means porcupine. We have
a porcupine in
word
Spanish.
for hedgehog. It's erizo.
Hey, I like this picture.
Now, I'm not sure. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's a JFK quote,
Oh.
not a Sonic the Hedgehog
Oh,
quote.
I gotcha.
Sonic, where are you going now? Sonic the Hedgehog looked over his shoulder at Princess Sally. The
Yeah, they call Amy
young
Princess
was
Sally.
racing hot on his heels. Princess Sally isn't in this game. Do you mean Amy Rose? The character whose name has always been Amy Rose? How dare you try to link this to the Saturday morning cartoon character who looks
They thought
nothing
they
like
wouldn't-
Rosie the
the kids
Rascal,
wouldn't
also
care.
known as Amy Rose? What, did you think kids were stupid? That
Yes.
They wouldn't notice? Before Sonic could reply, something whooshed over them. Princess Sally shrieked as she was snatched up, and she and her captor vanished in a blue streak of light. What the? Princess Sally! It didn't take long for Sonic to realize what had happened. This has to be one of Dr. Robotnik's tricks. Indeed it was. Upon discovering the location of the little planet, the evil Dr. Robotnik and his robot cronies had immediately set about converting it to a giant fortress.
I like how he immediately knows it's
Robotnik saw Sonic
Robotnik and he's
approaching.
right.
He had dispatched his prized creation,
Then again, who else was it
Megatron,
gonna be?
grab Princess Sally and lure his arch enemy into danger. Okay, but that's also wrong. Amy doesn't get kidnapped until Collision Chaos, which happens on Little Planet, not before we get there. Again, with a Spanish typo, it says Piedran del Tiempo, and it's supposed to be Piedras del Tiempo. Piedran isn't a word.
Oops.
Okay, this one is just hilarious to me. So, the European manuals have a habit of translating most of the names for the zones, and that makes sense. They're proper nouns, but they're also places, which are more commonly translated. And the first few in Spanish translate pretty well. Panic in the palm trees and the chaos of the collision. So
That's cool.
those are pretty close. But then, f***ing Title Tempest is just translated as... water for everyone.
They gave up.
Like, we have translations for both those words. You could have called it Tempestad de las Olas, Tempest of the Waves, but no, you went with water for everyone. Okay.
Everyone gets water.
This. Across the board, none of the other languages have been translating the level names except for Spanish and German, and even German gave up for the last 2 levels. And while Wacky Workbench is uncomfortably directly translated as Mesa de Trabajo para Locos, Stardust Speedway gets a mouthful with Velocímetro de Polvo Estelar, and the worst part is that Velocímetro isn't the word for speedway, it's the word for speedometer.
Stardust speedometer.
Whoa! What are we talking about there? What are we talking talking about? The dash zone.
Dash pad.
So, oh my God, this is the proverbial gold.
I went
and
to
anyone who
the
speaks
dash
Spanish
zone.
probably knows what the I'm talking about. Article number 7. If we look at the English thing, it says the dash zones send you speeding in the direction the arrows are pointing.
The dash stream. Jason, no, I don't speak Spanish.
Number 7 is called. Okay, and I don't know if this is a Spanish thing, like a European Spanish thing. I'm gonna look this up right now, actually. Wait, no, that is what it means. That says the fuck zone or the fucker zone.
What?
Or the F slur zone. How did they miss that? Okay, because
you sprinters.
Spanish is a tough language. You know, sometimes words don't translate well across different. You know, slang is sometimes different across languages.
Yeah.
That is consistent across both languages. How the f do you get that from the dash zone? Oh, God damn it!
I lost it.
I wasn't done with you. The f zone, dude. The f zone. Or the fucker zone, I mean. So, this is one of those instances where I'm almost positive they just handed the English text over to someone who spoke Spanish but had no context to what they were translating, because it calls acts, as in the levels, acciones, which is the word for action, like an act of kindness. But this is an act like a stage, which would be acto.
Whoops.
And now I'm convinced that the person who translated this in Spanish either didn't proofread before sending it in, or just...
They probably put in Google Translate.
Cada zona está lleva de rutas escondidas. First of all, lleva is not a word. They meant to type llena, which means full, which makes sense. B and N are right next to each other on a keyboard. What makes less sense is why they use the word for is twice in a row. Every zone is Yeba.
Whoops.
I'm sorry, Japan. I can't let this one slide. That's not how you spell characters. I know that this is far beyond the least of our concerns, but I'm a silly bitch when it comes to proper grammar and punctuation. Are you up to it should have a question mark and not an exclamation point. Bro, that's not even the title screen in the final game. Flashed through a high-tech maze built with pipes and ducts, Robotniks flooded the factory with a pool of toxic liquid called Megamac that poisoned Sonic in a few moments.
We're never poisoned.
The Megamac doesn't poison us. It just acts like regular water. If it were poison, we'd still be dying after we got out of it. This is a really small one, but it's everything a catch, baby. It says, El malvado Dr. Robotnik ha vuelto a las andadas, and that A should have an H in front of it. It's like the difference between saying the evil Dr. Robotnik is at it again and the evil Dr. Robotnik 2 at it again.
Whoops.
Why is half of the North American box art cut off in the manual?
Michael
You
Jackson.
didn't properly resize it? You did it for the other games. After learning that the island is able to float in the sky by harnessing the power of the emeralds, the Doc decides to steal the emeralds so he can repair his Death Egg ship. To obtain the emeralds, Dr. Robotnik tricks Knuckles, the guardian of the floating island's Chaos Emeralds. He also tells Knuckles that Sonic and Tails are the ones trying to steal the emeralds. Wait, that makes no sense though, because it's implying that the floating island, known today as Angel Island, has its own set of emeralds, which it doesn't.
Nope.
You can't steal what never belonged to Knuckles. The emeralds he now has are the ones he stole from us at the beginning of the game, which we would have earned in Sonic 2. Why would we come to the floating island to steal what we already have? Unless they're talking about the Super Emeralds, but that has its own set of issues. If the Super Emeralds are powered by the Chaos Emeralds and they were being protected by Knuckles on the floating island, how did we obtain the Chaos Emeralds in the first place? How did they end up in the secret zones in the special stages? And if they straight up are the Chaos Emeralds just in a different form, Knuckles never had them to begin with. Long ago, an ancient civilization lived on the floating island. Before the civilization mysteriously disappeared, it left behind many secrets and mystical powers. Being the only living descendant of this lost civilization, Knuckles has become the guardian of the Chaos Emeralds, which are the source of the island's
Actually, they didn't think of frontiers at the time.
Okay, but in that case, Knuckles has been doing a pretty shit job.
That's how you know that the frontiers is the new canon. Imagine if they were setting it up all the way back then.
His name isn't Tail, it's Tails. The apostrophe should go after the S.
Oops.
Badniks have always had kind of lazy names, but still creative enough to stand out. You know, you got your Motobugs and your Crab Meats and your Buzz Bombers. What does this monkey throw? Coconuts. So what are we gonna call him?
Coconuts.
That's all well and good. But in Sonic 3, you couldn't come up with a better name for your monkey robot than Monkey Dude. F***ing Monkey Dude.
Perfect.
So it wasn't until this manual that I noticed that they blocked out all the names of the original Sega staff that worked on this game, and I kind of understand why, but I also kind of don't understand
Yeah,
why.
why?
Most of their names are still in the game's credits anyway, aren't they? And even if they're not, couldn't you just have, I don't know, not included these pages of the manual in the museum?
Yeah, right?
Badnik is a made-up word, so why are you so fucking weird, Spanish?
Yes, the
No
Badnik
other
isn't a word.
language
Why are you trying to
translates the name
translate
but
it?
you? Why did you add a C in
Why are
there?
you so
Badnik
special?
is not a word in Spanish. I don't know how they got this one wrong. I know that echidnas aren't native to Spain or anything, but we have a word for echidna. It's pronounced the same, but spelled echidna with a Q.
Huh.
Of all things to not translate, why is it something we have a word for? And then
Weird.
here, you spelled Badnik correctly. And the reason I bring this up is because the first page where they spelled it with a C wasn't a unique instance. They did it multiple times
What?
and then just,
Oi.
I don't know, gave up for some reason? Europe, how on earth did you f this up? You
that
got his
Monkey
name
Dude?
correctly throughout basically the entire manual except for this giant instance of the name. And what's worse, you wrote the word Badnik, which is based on Robotnik's name, correctly right next to it.
Whoops.
I hate to break it to you, Japan, but it's not Mushroom Hill, it's Mushroom Hill.
Get it
So
right.
while it's great that they're explicitly including the effects the lock-on technology has on Sonic 2, it's weird that they don't mention that you can literally play millions of Blue Sphere stages if you lock on Sonic and Knuckles to Sonic 1.
It's not that important.
I don't like playing them separately, but in the original Sonic and Knuckles, the story in Knuckles' campaign is that Egg Robo bombs the island, and Knuckles is none the wiser because he thinks Eggman is a kind-hearted scientist who's only trying to study the Death Egg, which crashed onto the floating island. But both Egg Robo and the Death Egg look exactly like Robotnik.
Yep.
People like to say that Knuckles was never straight up stupid, but I don't know, man. This is more than just being naive.
True.
These look like some AI-generated ass photos.
They do.
Like, could you not get better screenshots? Why does Europe get shafted like this? I mean, for fuck's sake, look at Robotnik.
Fuck the Europeans.
It doesn't look like anything. This is another really minor
I
one,
see
but
it.
why is Sonic Chaos listed after Triple Trouble in the museum? Triple Trouble is a sequel to Sonic Chaos.
Whoops.
I have to say that it's kind of annoying to have to hit the confirm button twice when unlocking content in the museum every time. I know there's new content available in the museum. You don't have to tell me new content has been unlocked. I unlocked it.
Yeah. I
How
hate
is
that
it
in
that you have the
gaming.
music for these games in this collection, but you had the audacity to be like, nah, nobody wants to play these games. Like, I get it.
Seriously.
honestly, but that's really not the point. I'm sorry,
Should
we
put-
couldn't get the
you should
music
put
by
the
the
game
guy
in there.
Michael Jackson asked to help produce for this 130-year-old game due to licensing issues, but we have a remix to an original theme featured in a game that has been and always will be exclusive to Nintendo consoles on PS4, Xbox, and PC.
What? Weird. Yeah, the Origins collection should have just been the freaking Game Gear games and the 2X stuff. Like, you know.
Hey everyone, Cherry5 here.
Good
Thanks so
music
much for
equals
watching.
bad game,
Shout out to
apparently.
all of you
Isn't that
patrons
just the
and
Sonic
channel members,
standard?
All of you
Yeah.
wonderful people watching.
I get it and I don't
Join
care.
that drop
Whatever.
down there. There's a link
Later.
to